Watch my last video. That last video I did was why AirPods are awesome. If you are some like that, but in this video, I'm going to give you guys reasons on why AirPods suck. Obviously, there are good and bad. There's good and bad with everything. So with AirPods, there's good and there's bad. I'm going to give you reasons why AirPods suck and you might not want to buy them. First of all, and let me just continue by saying that some of these might be overlapping as far as me giving the goods and the bads of, I might be restating my opinions from the other video, but giving you the other side of it. So enough of that. I'm just going to tell you guys why AirPods suck. So if you listen to my other video, I brought up the size of the AirPods. I told you guys that it was awesome, the inconspicuous, the small you can put in your pocket, but there's also a negative to that. And the negative to that is because they're small, you could lose them. I almost lost one of my AirPods a couple times. Almost lost one for good. Thank goodness I found it. But if you lose one of them and you go to Apple and tell them that you lost one of them, they'll definitely replace it. But it's going to cost you about $60 to replace a single AirPod. So that's really a pain in the ass. But they did put out an app where you could actually use a radar and a map to find it if you lose it somewhere close by. If you were walking in a mall and you lost in a mall and you drove home 3 miles from where it was, forget about trying to find them. You're going to have to go back to the mall and then use that app to try to find it. So good luck with that. That is a positive and that is also a negative. On top of that, I would just like to say that it has an accelerometer, which is awesome. So why didn't Apple put in a volume control feature in the accelerometer? I mean, you can tap twice on the AirPods to bring up Siri, but apparently you can't move your finger around to control the volume. If you need to control the volume, you're going to have to tap twice to bring up Siri and then go on your phone to control the volume, which is a lot of steps to get to the volume setting. Also, I like to add that there are a couple of bugs to the earphones, to the AirPods. The bugs are that one of the bugs is a battery bug. For whatever reason, some people are having issues with the battery. As I said before, the battery life on the AirPods and the case is amazing. But if you're having that issue, that drainage issue where you're not using them, the battery is 100%, and then the morning later, the next morning, you have that charged up, but the next morning it's at 80%, and 2 days later it's at 0%. That's a big issue. And as of right now, I don't think Apple has a fix for it. I think you can reset it, but that's an issue that it's still ongoing. As far as issues with the AirPods, a lot of people are having disconnecting issues as far as when they're on the phone. Speaking to somebody, there's reported cases where it disconnects multiple times during a phone call. So also another negative to it. On top of that, the price. I mean, that's a relative thing depending on what your budget is. It's $159 for the AirPods. And if you're trying to get them right now on eBay or whatever, it's going for $250. They are kind of expensive. I think there are maybe better quality earphones that you could get for $150, but I haven't looked around, but I'm pretty sure there are. So depending on what your budget is, that price might be a negative to you. Also, I've brought up the appearance of the AirPods. And that could be a positive, negative thing. There are a lot of people who have said that they look like Q-tips. They say that the case looks like a dental floss case. Me personally, I have no issues with it, but depending on what your opinion, what you think of them, you either could think that they're a good thing or a bad thing. I have no issues with them, but there are a lot of people who think that they either do look like kind of douchey when you wear them, or they look like something that is incomplete. That an earring hang out of your ear, or it's a Q-tip that's hanging out of your ear and it looks kind of weird. That could be a negative thing to you guys. If it is, then you guys should not be getting these AirPods. All right, so let's move on. Sound quality. To me personally, the sound quality of these AirPods are really decent. They're as good as the AirPods that I had. So I've had no issues with them at all. I've read online where a couple of people have said the sound coming from them are kind of crappy. So I don't know how good your ears are, or how good you guys are at distinguishing like great sound versus excellent sound. But I'm not an audiophile, so I'm not into trying to figure out, the specific tone of a certain beat, or the bass of whether the bass of a certain instrument comes through loud or clear or not. So if you're not that kind of person, I think most people are not that kind of person. It's not really a big deal to them. But if you're a big audiophile, I guess that could be a negative thing. All right, so moving on to the price. I don't know if I've actually mentioned that before in this video, but I'm going to talk about the price. There are probably a lot better earphones that you could find for $150 on Amazon right now. As far as the price is concerned, if price is no issue to you, if 150 spending 150 on a piece of Apple equipment is not really that bad of a thing to you, then it's not that bad of an issue. But for most people, 150 on a pair of earphones is kind of expensive. So depending on how much of an Apple fan you are, or how much you want the newest thing, or how much you've seen, stuff about the AirPods and you just can't wait to get them, or you need them, then yeah, okay, then that might be something that's worth spending for you. But for most people, $150 for a pair of earphones, there might be better deals out there. So the price is one of those things that I'm going to say would be a negative. All right, guys. So those are my main reasons of why the AirPods might suck, and why you probably wouldn't want to buy a pair of them. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you guys have any comments, if you guys have any more reasons why these AirPods aren't that great, and you don't think it's that worth spending money on them, please feel free to comment under this